The ICC-1 electrical exam primarily assesses knowledge in several key areas. Firstly, it covers the fundamental theory and principles underlying electrical systems. This includes concepts such as Ohm's law, Kirchhoff's laws, series and parallel circuits, alternating current and direct current theory, power factor, and transformer operation. Secondly, safety regulations are a significant component. This involves understanding and applying the National Electrical Code, particularly those articles related to general safety requirements, personal protective equipment, safe work practices, and lockout/tagout procedures. Thirdly, the exam tests knowledge of electrical materials and equipment. This includes conductors, insulators, raceways, boxes, fittings, wiring devices, overcurrent protection devices such as circuit breakers and fuses, transformers, motors, and lighting fixtures. Fourthly, wiring methods and practices are heavily emphasized. This encompasses the proper installation techniques for various wiring systems, including cable wiring like non-metallic sheath cable and armored cable, conduit wiring using rigid metal conduit, intermediate metal conduit, and electrical metallic tubing, and other wiring methods such as wireways and cable trays. The exam also covers grounding and bonding requirements to ensure electrical safety. Fifthly, troubleshooting and repair skills are assessed. This involves diagnosing common electrical problems using test equipment such as multimeters and clamp-on ammeters and applying appropriate repair techniques. The passing score for the ICC-1 exam is 70%. The ICC-2 electrical exam focuses on specific building types. Firstly, it covers residential dwellings up to 3 stories. This includes single-family homes, duplexes, and townhouses. Secondly, it covers garages and outbuildings associated with residential properties. Thirdly, it covers commercial buildings less than 5,000 square feet, which may include small retail stores, offices, and restaurants. The main differences between ICC-1 and ICC-2 are firstly, ICC-2 covers smaller and more specific building types compared to ICC-1, which has a broader scope. Secondly, ICC-2 has fewer questions at 70 versus ICC-1's 100. Thirdly, ICC-2 has a higher passing score, requiring 80% compared to ICC-1's 70%. To prepare for the ICC electrical tests, firstly, dedicate time to studying the ICC electrical codebook thoroughly. Focus on the articles and sections that are most relevant to the exam content. Secondly, take practice exams to familiarize yourself with the format, types of questions, and time constraints. This will help you identify areas where you need to improve your knowledge. Thirdly, consider attending a review course or workshop that is specifically designed to prepare candidates for the ICC electrical test. These courses often provide valuable insights, tips, and strategies for passing the exam. Format of the ICC electrical test is multiple choice questions. The ICC-1 exam is timed for 2 hours, while the ICC-2 exam is timed for 75 minutes. When taking the tests, firstly, bring a pencil for marking your answers. Secondly, bring a calculator to assist with calculations. Thirdly, bring an approved ICC codebook if allowed by the testing center. It's important to check the specific rules and regulations regarding permitted materials before the exam. If you receive a failing grade on the ICC electrical test, yes, you can request a review of your score. Contact the testing center or the ICC for information on the appeals process and any associated fees. Here are some additional details to consider when preparing for the ICC electrical exams. For theory and principles of electrical systems, review the basic concepts of voltage, current, resistance, and power. Understand series and parallel circuits, Ohm's law, and Kirchhoff's laws. Learn about alternating current and direct current, including waveforms, frequency, and phase relationships. Study transformer operation, including turns ratio, voltage and current relationships, and transformer losses. Familiarize yourself with power factor and its effects on electrical systems. Regarding safety regulations, thoroughly review the National Electrical Code, with an emphasis on safety-related articles. Pay close attention to requirements for personal protective equipment such as gloves, eye protection, and arc flash protection. Understand safe work practices, including lockout/tagout procedures and working around energized equipment. Learn about grounding and bonding requirements, including the purpose of grounding electrodes, equipment grounding conductors, and bonding jumpers. For electrical materials and equipment, become familiar with various types of conductors, including copper and aluminum, and their ampacity ratings. Understand the characteristics of different types of insulation, such as thermoplastic and thermosetting materials. Learn about raceways, including conduit, tubing, and cable trays, and their appropriate applications. Study wiring devices, such as switches, receptacles, and lighting fixtures, and their installation requirements. Understand overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, and their selection and coordination. Familiarize yourself with transformers, motors, and other electrical equipment, and their operating characteristics. Concerning wiring methods and practices, study the proper installation techniques for various wiring systems, including cable wiring, conduit wiring, and other methods. Understand the requirements for box fill, conductor bending radius, and support spacing. Learn about grounding and bonding requirements for different types of wiring systems. Regarding troubleshooting and repair, develop your skills in diagnosing common electrical problems such as open circuits, short circuits, and ground faults. Learn to use test equipment such as multimeters, clamp-on ammeters, and insulation resistance testers. Understand the principles of operation of electrical equipment and how to identify and repair malfunctions. Consider the importance of time management during the exams. Practice answering questions quickly and efficiently, and don't spend too much time on any one question. If you're unsure of an answer, make your best guess and move on. Review your answers at the end of the exam if you have time remaining. It's also beneficial to create a study plan that allocates sufficient time for each topic. Break down the material into manageable chunks and set realistic goals for each study session. Use a variety of study resources such as textbooks, online tutorials, and practice exams. Don't rely solely on one source of information. Additionally, join a study group or online forum where you can discuss concepts, ask questions, and share resources with other candidates. Collaboration can be a valuable tool for learning and reinforcing your understanding. It is recommended to familiarize yourself with the specific edition of the National Electrical Code that is referenced by the ICC exams. Building codes are updated periodically, so it's important to study the most current version. Pay attention to any local amendments or interpretations of the code, as these may be included in the exams. Understand the importance of electrical safety. Electricity can be dangerous, and it's important to follow safe work practices at all times. Never work on energized equipment unless you are properly trained and equipped. Always use appropriate personal protective equipment and follow lockout/tagout procedures when necessary. Be aware of the potential hazards of arc flash and electric shock and take steps to mitigate these risks. Here are some additional tips for taking the ICC electrical exams. Read each question carefully and make sure you understand what is being asked before attempting to answer it. Pay attention to keywords and phrases that may provide clues to the correct answer. Eliminate obviously incorrect answers to narrow down your choices. If you're unsure of the answer, try to make an educated guess based on your knowledge and understanding of the code. Don't leave any questions unanswered, as there is no penalty for guessing. Manage your time effectively and pace yourself throughout the exam. If you are running out of time, focus on answering the questions that you know the answers to first. Review your answers at the end of the exam if you have time remaining. Correct any mistakes or omissions that you may have made. Stay calm and focused during the exam. If you start to feel anxious or overwhelmed, take a few deep breaths and try to relax. Remember that you have prepared for this exam and you have the knowledge and skills to succeed. After the exam, take some time to review your performance and identify areas where you can improve. This will help you prepare for future exams or certifications. Consider continuing your education and training to stay up to date with the latest codes, standards, and technologies. The electrical industry is constantly evolving, so it's important to remain a lifelong learner. The NEC, or National Electrical Code, contains numerous tables that are critical for electrical calculations and installations. For example, Table 310.16 provides the allowable ampacities of insulated conductors rated up to 600 volts, 60 degrees Celsius to 90 degrees Celsius, in free air and in raceways. This table is essential for determining the correct size of conductors for various applications, ensuring that they can safely carry the intended current without overheating. Another important table is 250.122, which specifies the minimum size of equipment grounding conductors for grounding raceway and equipment. This table is used to determine the appropriate size of the grounding conductor based on the rating of the overcurrent protective device in the circuit. Correctly sizing the grounding conductor is crucial for providing a low impedance path for fault current, helping to ensure the prompt operation of overcurrent devices and minimize the risk of electrical shock. Table 314.16 provides the number of conductors allowed in standard boxes. This table helps ensure that boxes are not overfilled with conductors, which can lead to overheating and other problems. The table takes into account the size of the box, the size of the conductors, and the number of devices installed in the box. Properly sizing boxes is important for maintaining the integrity and safety of the wiring system. Table 430.250, found in Article 430, provides the full load current for three-phase alternating current motors. This table is used to determine the appropriate size of conductors, overcurrent protection, and other components for motor circuits. The table lists the full load current for motors of various horsepower ratings and voltage levels. Using the correct full load current value is essential for ensuring that the motor circuit is properly protected and can operate reliably. Table 430.52 provides guidance on selecting the maximum rating or setting for motor branch circuit, short circuit, and ground fault protective devices. This table is used to determine the appropriate size of the overcurrent protection device for a motor circuit based on the type of motor and the type of protection device. The table specifies the maximum allowable percentage of the motor's full load current that the overcurrent device can be rated or set at. Using the correct overcurrent protection is crucial for protecting the motor and the branch circuit from damage due to short circuits or ground faults. In addition to these specific tables, the NEC contains many other tables that are used for various purposes, such as determining conduit fill spacing requirements and equipment clearances. It is essential for electricians and electrical contractors to be familiar with these tables and how to use them correctly. It is also important to stay up to date with the latest edition of the NEC, as the tables and requirements can change over time. Here are some additional resources that may be helpful in preparing for the ICC electrical exams. The ICC website provides information about the exams, including content outlines, sample questions, and study materials. Many online forums and communities are dedicated to electrical codes and standards. These forums can be a great place to ask questions, share information, and connect with other professionals. Electrical trade magazines and journals often publish articles about electrical codes and standards. These publications can help you stay up to date with the latest developments in the industry. Continuing education courses and seminars are available from various organizations. These courses can provide in-depth training on specific topics related to electrical codes and standards. Mentorship programs can pair you with experienced professionals who can provide guidance and support. A mentor can help you navigate the complexities of the electrical industry and prepare for the ICC exams. By utilizing these resources and dedicating time to studying and preparing, you can increase your chances of success on the ICC electrical exams.